Hi, everybody. This is Barbara Drazga, and I'm so excited today to bring to you two rock stars in the Amazon world, $1,000,000 sellers, Danimal, Dan Meadors, and Dylan Frost, who doesn't have a nickname yet, but I think by the end of this, we will come up with one for him. Today, we're going to talk about, holy cow, e-commerce has like exploded in the past 12 months. And I'm so excited about what opportunities are going to continue to be available on Amazon through 2021. So we're going to talk about what is this Amazon growth thing? How do we hop on the bandwagon? How do we find the data for the great products to sell? And how do we find suppliers to sell those great products? So I'm going to shut up because the masters and my mentors, Dan and Dylan, are going to tell you what's going on in this market and how we can take advantage of it. So
yeah,
hey, Dan and Dylan, tell us about it, a little bit about yourselves.
I love this topic, so I think it's a great one to start. And how I want to start talking a little bit about it is just to briefly say, Dan and I, we've been selling on Amazon for a little while now. We've sold over $30 million worth of products on Amazon, and 2020 was our best year ever, and it wasn't really close. It was a pretty wild ride, and really almost every year is the best year ever, right? Because Amazon continues to grow year after year, but 2020 was a unique experience. So I think everyone kind of understands, right, what happened in 2020. The global pandemic kind of changed things. And what 2020 changed the world forever, permanently. Of course, there was a lot of temporary changes with lockdowns, with people wearing masks all over the place and that sort of thing, and people changing their behaviors about where they can go and how they can get to places. But there are lasting effects to the pandemic that will continue forever. And one of those things is e-commerce. In 2020, the amount of things that people bought online, because it was more difficult for them to buy in person, increased like between 50 and 100%. Now, in 2021, that is going to be and going forward, ultimately, that's the new normal. There is you can look at the charts all over the place of the typical rate of growth for e-commerce sales, what percentage of sales that take place happen online versus in person. And that grows steadily every year, a percent or two here and there, but it grew, 5x last year. And that's really just not going away. We're seeing that those residual effects, it's continuing. So many people move their shopping online, and then they're going to leave it that way permanently. And here's some of the big things that we saw. Of course, our sales exploded, and even in products where things you wouldn't have expected, you wouldn't have thought about, right? Our toys and games and board games and card games that we sold doubled in sales throughout last year, right? And we're not just talking at the height of the pandemic. We're talking, even in December and November, a crazy Q4. We had one experience in November where we sold a product. We sold a 5,000 units in 2 hours the day before Cyber Monday. It was on Cyber Sunday, we'll call it. 5,000 units of a product in 2 hours. We saw some of the craziest things ever in the year in 2020, and that's only continued. Right now, we're currently, because of this ice storm, we've got a product that we sell $3+ million a year of, that we're just going to run straight out of stock. It's just selling 2,000+ units a day. 2,000+ units a day. Can't keep it in stock. It's just a wild, crazy, Wild West kind of place Amazon is right now, because the sales volume is so high, and it grew so much in 1 year that there just isn't the demand. There aren't enough sellers. There's not enough people out there putting product on there to keep up with demand. That's the quick
summary. There's not enough good sellers. There's not enough good sellers to keep up with
absolutely
demand.
Yeah, there's not enough good sellers to keep up with that demand. Amazon this is, everyone can look this up. You can Google it. Amazon just did their annual report. They had their shareholders meeting last week. I think it was last Wednesday, and it's the same one where they announced that Jeff Bezos was stepping down as CEO and moving into a different role. I imagine that mostly now he's going to be focusing on the space race, the billionaire space race that's going on. But on that same call, they announced that Amazon's sales grew 40% in 2020. 40%. Think about that in perspective. The world's third most valuable company. Sometimes they're like number one. They just bounce around. They kind of trade around with Microsoft and Apple, right? One of the world's three most valuable companies grew 40% in a year.
Like You know,
Which I
in
think-
traditional terms, you think about a non-established business growing 40%. Like if you start your business and you grow 40% in year 3, that's going to be relatively impressive. But think about it from a perspective where this is one of the 3 largest companies in the entire world, and they grew 40%.
Yeah, it's wild. And then another thing that they share on that, everyone should look that up and go through it, is third-party sellers grew their sales over 50% in 2020. Or people like us, people like Dan and me, and I can tell you that is pretty accurate. We just by being on Amazon and selling the right products now, because it's not true for everybody, it's true for the people that are selling the right stuff and selling the right kind of way. People that do retail arbitrage had a much harder time because things were closed, you couldn't get out. But people like Dan and me who are able to just buy our inventory with a phone call or buy our inventory with an email,
It was a good year.
It was a good year. It went very well for us in a lot of different ways.
I mean, you talked. I don't want to cut you off, but you talked about it, like it, and it was a good year. And the point is, will there be lines that have normalized and things like that? Yes, but as a whole, like we still sell more. Like and that's not just the quarter 4 effect. Think about your personal life. Me and Dylan closed our business last year in March. Our physical office, and we've been operating at home since then.
Yeah.
Like we're never going back. Like I mean, I can comfortably say I'm never going back. And it's the habits that we developed here too. Like I was talking to my neighbor, and people approach things differently. Like he's a bit more bit less concerned about getting out and stuff like that than I am. And it's not so much concern, it's just habit at this point. Like we got in the lockdowns, I started ordering significantly more of my things online. And he was like, wow, you keep UPS a business. And I was thinking, like, I just literally don't go shopping anywhere else. I mean, all my things come to me now. And, I can't honestly see that going back now that I'm accustomed to it and used to it. Like I enjoy the fact that I don't have to go stand in line and pilfer through stuff and things like that.
I feel very strongly, if you look at, like, since Amazon's existed, right, and that third-party sellers could sell on it, there have been, if you were to ask me, Dylan, what would have been the best time to start selling on Amazon, I would have said the best time would have been day 1 when they first opened FBA, there in when they started the pilot program. If you were in there really early, like 2007 or something like that, like if that would have been the best time to start. But the second best, you can't go back. There's no time machine. You can't go back, right? So what's the next best time? And it is literally right now. It's right now because Amazon has never been in a spot like it is right now since then, where it is so hungry. There's so much opportunity. There's more opportunity than there has ever been for people if you're getting started now, like it's perfect. The wins, like there just isn't a better time than right now. Like I've been doing this for a long time. This is literally, if you haven't already started either selling on Amazon or doing it in one of the preferred business models, right? It's now is the best time to get started, because there's just so much growth and so much opportunity for you to take advantage of that.
A lot of people can take that sentiment though. Doesn't mean that starting a business is super easy. Like we're not claiming that it's easy, but what we are is the people who can or who do move forward. And like if you're out there and you're saying, I want to start a business, I don't know when is the right time. What Dylan is saying is there's never been a bigger opportunity than there is right now for you to start a business. And if you're willing to put the work in with opportunity, and you can grow a business, like it's never been more possible.
Yeah, I can actually like help everyone understand that, and so that they know that it's not just kind of BS what we're saying. Our sale, like everything started happening so dramatically in 2020 with growth that we had to cut nearly 100 wholesale lines because we just really couldn't order from them anymore, because we had to focus all of our resources and all of our money into our most profitable, fastest moving ones, because they were selling so much. That's where we needed to focus, right? So like we couldn't support 100 accounts. We had to just cut almost 100 accounts just to focus on our best ones, because they were doing so well. We had to pump all of our money into our best accounts. You know what I mean? So that means that there were 90 wholesale accounts that just went out into the ether for someone else to get, because we just had to focus on our best stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's the way that it was. That's how wild that it was, is, and we were happy to do that because the accounts that we did focus on have been so wildly profitable and great with it. That opportunity was out there for someone to eat that up, and that was true not just for us, but lots of other sellers. And I think that is a great explanation, a great way to see like how like there's so much opportunity that Dan and I couldn't keep up with it. It was like, there's like you're juggling balls, juggling chainsaws, and someone throws you another chainsaw. That's what it was like. Oh God. But I mean,
I like the analogy of spinning plates, like the circus performer who spins the plates. Hey, can I interject? Because I'm pretty sure there's at least one person, and if you're this person, say it in the chat. There's at least one person that is thinking right now, okay, well, that was 2020. And when this pandemic thing sort of settles down and people are out and about in the world again, is that demand really consistent? So I promised that this was going to be about 2021, right? And how we can profit moving forward with these new trends. So as these guys are talking, I'm making a list, right? So I watch a lot of Bloomberg, and on there, they have multiple times talked about pent up buying demand after we come out of the stuff we've been in. And just a few ideas. So grab a pen and paper. I'm gonna drop these ideas here. Ready? People are going to start buying more travel related items. They're going to want to get out and travel and go places, vacation related items, bathing suits. All right. Be honest here. How many people are sitting in their pajama pants right now? You might have a cute top on, but you got your jammies, right? Well, you can't really go outside in public and not be pointed at and stared, right? So people are going to be buying more cute clothing, back to school items because kids are going back to school now. Clothing and shoes. B2B items, so businesses that are opening back up that need supplies to run their businesses. Lifestyle items, my lifestyle, the importance of things in the new normal lifestyle for me, I see things differently than I did a year ago. Different things are important to me. Makeup for you girls and guys, fashion items, more jewelry. I don't wear jewelry around the house when we're in the warehouse or anything. I put this on for you, by the way, right? And this cute top with the pajama pants. Patio and garden. People are going to be having more parties. We can't gather in large, units right now, but when lockdown is done and we're past this, people are going to want a party. Musical instruments, party supplies, kids sports. They're going to be able to play, what are they called? Mini leagues or whatever, right? Kids soccer teams, sporting goods. People are going to be able to go to sporting events. What do they wear? What do they wave on their hand when they're at sporting events? Grooming supplies. When was the last time you guys all got haircuts at it, right? So we're going to want to look cuter and prettier again as we go out into the real world. So that trend that started because of the things that happened in 2020 is not going to slow down. It might shift in the types of products that you look to source, but this is not a trend it's not a fidget spinner moment. It's not going away.
The point is, those items, I agree with you. Those items are all phenomenal. Think about, and that's a great way to think about it. Like, people haven't stopped buying things. Obviously, our sales are record setting. The Amazon sales went up by 40%, but the shift in things is going to, a shift in the things they are buying is going to occur. But what stays? The thing that stays is the conditioning of now buying from Amazon versus going somewhere else to buy products.
There's more people signed up for Prime. They don't share their numbers, right? But there are more Prime buyers now, Amazon Prime buyers. And tell us what that means for people selling on Amazon who don't do FBA yet. Why is that important?
When someone is signed up for Prime, they on average, they spend way more money on Amazon. And I know I do. The amount of money that Dan and I spend on Amazon is pretty wild, certainly in this household.
But no, as far as one of the factors whenever you're a seller on Amazon, and you are utilizing FBA, that gives you a much better and cleaner way to access those Prime customers, which is growing exponentially. So the demand for FBA products it continues to go up, despite Amazon has built record amounts of warehouses and warehouse space, and they are still just stuffed. They're still stuffed. They're still they're still having to build. And it's because they have, more sales than ever, more customers than ever. And hopefully the more sellers than ever is what I think they're eventually shooting for here.
Yeah. And a prediction, it's not even really a prediction. It's just 100% lock it in. I guarantee you right now, 2021 will be significantly better than 2020 was, because it will, like we haven't seen a dip yet. Still, there's been no dip for us. Things have been very strong. Everything looks way up from this time last year for us. And another thing, the key thing to consider, and what we saw last year, every time the American government's pumping a ton of money into stimulus, and every time one of those stimulus checks goes out, Amazon, you can watch it, you can see the chart of our Amazon sales. There is a direct influence. That's the point of the stimulus money, is to stimulate the economy. And people use it to buy things and essentials and things that they need. And it ends up
stimulating Dylan.
It ends up stimulating our bank account when that happens. That's the point of the money. It's for it to be spent. And they spend it buying things from people like us. So that will continue to happen. They're going to continue to dump money like that throughout the rest of the year. And the people that can take advantage of that the most are Amazon sellers, without a doubt. If there's any way that you can take advantage, you double dip on the stimulus, as it were, where you receive it, and also and people buy things from you because they have the money. It's Amazon.
Right. You Dylan, you were talking about there are right and wrong models right now for Amazon. You think?
Yeah.
What
for sure?
Explain what our model is, how we got. I think that's good, because I'm sure we've worked with Barbara a lot, and I'm sure some of the people in here know us, but I almost guarantee that there are people watching right now that have no idea who we are and why the Danimal and the Dylan Frost is talking to them today.
Yeah, well, why are we qualified? Why are we experts? So one thing I will say, and a pause for everyone watching, is Barbara has a link for you where Dan and I, next week, if you can click Barbara's link and you can register for free, Dan and I are holding a live 3-day workshop. We're going to be live broadcasting for 3 days, teaching exactly how we sell on Amazon, exactly how we find products to sell on Amazon, and how we land those accounts. If you go to freewholesaleworkshop.com, you can sign up for this workshop where Dan and I over 3 days are teaching exactly how we've sold $30 million on Amazon, so that you can copy us and our business model, plug and play, right?
This is live, right? You're teaching this live?
It's 100% live. We're going to be doing it broadcasting from a nice fancy studio, and we have never done this before. We have never taught live. We've never taught our business model like this for free live. Now,
I was going to say, whatever you said, we've never done this before, I was going to say that's a lie. But
yeah,
we've never done this for free. Like, the point of this workshop is that it's traditionally been a paid workshop. And this is the first time that we've ever done it for free. So it's going to be 3 days, literally 3 hours a day of us going through how to find products, how things, and then how to make the pitches and things like that to actually land wholesale accounts. So if you are interested in learning wholesale, like, seriously, this is the best. This is absolutely the best free event you will ever see. I promise.
Let me ask you guys who are on here to put in the chat for me this. What is your biggest problem, concern, fear about selling wholesale on Amazon? And let's make sure that we're covering those on this webinar. So what's your biggest fear or sticking point that's keeping you from moving forward with selling wholesale on Amazon? Go ahead and put that in the chat, and you guys keep going.
Yeah.
Let's explain a bit about our model too.
Yeah. So I may be able to show something up on screen here. Let me try to, for everybody that can kind of see. So the way that we sell on Amazon is, wholesale. Our business model is wholesale, but it's not the typical type of wholesale. It's not the traditional type of wholesale. When people think wholesale, what most people think what that means, and what it means for most people that aren't Dan and me, they think it is to buy from wholesalers or distributors, which is that top model there that you see in this infographic. The way that most people on Amazon are doing wholesale is they buy from wholesalers and distributors, which are middlemen that just carry tons of different products, and they let you buy in small quantities so that you can sell lots of different stuff and try different things and change what you're selling from week to week, and that's kind of what wholesalers and distributors do and allow access. And that's the way that most commerce has kind of always traditionally worked, and so what so many people are used to is a brand owner or a manufacturer. Well, they'll have a good product, they'll sell it in large quantities to a wholesaler or a distributor. And then that wholesaler or distributor, their job is to just find people to buy it, find retailers to buy it, like Amazon sellers or physical stores. Well, our business model is different. We still do wholesale. We're still buying in wholesale, selling and buying in large quantities and selling in large quantities of great branded products. But we don't buy from those wholesalers and distributors because they are middlemen that mark up the prices. We skip them. We go straight to the source. What we do is we pick and identify best-selling products on Amazon, right? Strong, solid products that are selling hundreds or thousands of times. And we go straight to the source. We reach out, we call, or we email the owner of the brand, the manufacturer of the brand of the product, to open up a direct account. Because if you buy at the direct prices, manufacturer direct pricing, you're getting the best pricing. If any of you guys know anything about Amazon, the people that get all the sales are the people with the lowest price on Amazon. If you have the best price, you get the sales. And so that's what we do is we find products that we want to sell first. We find best-selling products on Amazon, and then we go to the manufacturers and brand owners to buy them and open up direct accounts with them. However, there is a catch to this. There's an important catch to this model, because I'm sure you're thinking to yourself right now, you're like, well, why doesn't everyone do that? Why doesn't everyone that sells on Amazon just buy straight from the brand owners, direct, manufacturer direct, right? Like, of course that makes sense. You're not paying middlemen to buy your products. You're not buying products at a markup. Well, brand owners and manufacturers only work with limited sellers. They don't just approve anyone. You can't, if you just tried right now to email a brand owner or manufacturer of a best-selling Amazon product right now, and you send them an email without knowing what to say or what to do, they would say, yeah, no thanks, buddy, take a hike. Not interested in selling to you. We only work with a limited number of Amazon retailers. The key here is, if you want that direct pricing where you can sell hundreds or thousands of a unit profitably and order again and again, right? There are some tricks to it. You need to know what makes you a solid seller in their mind, someone that they want to work with, a retailer that they would want to work with. And once you figure out the right things to say and the right things to do, you're able to just almost buy whatever that you want again and again and earn profit just like us. And that's how you end up. That's how basically we grew. That's me, trying to summarize it as quickly as I can. At our workshop, we're going to have hours to be able to cover this, right? And here I only have, a few minutes. But as succinctly as I can put it, that's how our business works.
And can I just interject for a second? When you guys attend the workshop next week, I highly recommend you get in front of your computer, right? So be in front of your computer with your browser up, with Amazon up, and follow along with what they're showing you, right? So go sign up for freewholesaleworkshop.com. And then next week, just follow every single day, carve out your schedule, 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern, every day, shut the door, no distractions, turn off your phone, and really hyper focus on what these guys are going to teach you. Make sense?
I mean, I got some good and bad news. The good and bad news here is that we're going to give you that ugly word. Like, we're going to treat this just like it's a paid workshop. Like, and our goal in a paid workshop is to help people get results and make sure they understand the material. So we're definitely going to give you guys homework. I know that's kind of like an ugly word, but I promise it's like the good homework that helps you understand and make sure that you're getting the
profitable homework.
That's a better way, a friendlier way to say it than assignments. Yes.
Yeah. At the end of day one at the workshop, we're going to teach you how to our method for finding and sourcing inventory, like how we literally go on Amazon. How do we know what's a good wholesale opportunity or not? How do we know what's a good product opportunity, and how do you find them, right? We're going to teach that. And then it's going to be your homework, your assignment, rather, as Barbara said, your assignment, much better way of explaining it, to go do that, and then come back to day two with products that you found. So you come back to day two with products that you found after we taught you how to find them. And then when you come back on day two, we'll show you how to get the wholesale accounts for them, right? You see, we're taking you through the whole process. You're gonna learn day one how to find products. Day two, well, how do I get the accounts for products, right? Day three, how do I run my business? Like it's just step by step. We're gonna walk you through the whole process. So you need to be there the whole time, and you'll get everything that you need. It's a lot. I want to prepare everybody that's watching it. It's 3 hours a day for 3 days. it'll be in it. And Dan and I, we have a real bad habit of going over time. It's very likely it'll be about 10 hours of training, right? It'll be a lot. It'll be intense. So you have to pay attention. You have to be there. You have to focus, right? But that's what it takes. Like, it takes time for us to go through and for you to learn everything. So, this isn't some hour training where I'm promising you can build a business or whatever. I'm teaching.
It's not fluff.
It's 10 hours of working, giving you assignments so that you
Renee's
go
in.
out and find.
Renee just put in the chat. She's in. Go ahead and join Renee, guys.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Is we're really going to show you start to finish how our business runs and how that you can do everything that we do.
Marta's in. Marta Hobbs just signed up.
Yeah, so again, a warning.
Diana
It takes
signed
time.
up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so just want to make sure the right people are there. They understand it's an intense workshop. There's 3 days, 3 hours a day, but at the end, what you'll come away with at the end is you'll know what you're doing. You'll know how to take those next steps forward. So,
well, let's give them a little bit more stuff, because you guys know I like to over deliver on content. So what I do is go ahead, Daniel.
I was gonna say, let's talk about some of the concerns that people have. Like, I really like that as we're moving in. Like, Barbara's on top of it.
I went through the chat and I categorized the 4 main concerns that a lot of people share. So the first one I think is finding products. Julie and Marta and Melanie all expressed that they're concerned. How do you find products?
I'll show you. We'll talk a little bit right now. That's fine. I've actually got a little bit right here real quick. So let me show you. We're going to cover this very deep at the event, right? Very deep. Okay. So just want to be, this is just a quick overview, right? But like, what is a good wholesale product? Well, we find our products on Amazon.
Write this down, guys, or screenshot this. Write this down.
We look for products on Amazon. That's how we look for best-selling products on Amazon. That's how we source our inventory. I don't go to trade shows. And there's nothing wrong with trade shows. People can be very effective there, but I don't go to trade shows. I don't use wholesalers or distributors. What we do is we find products to sell by looking on Amazon. We find a good one and we reach out to them. But what makes a good product? How do I know it's good? How do I know that this is a brand I should reach out to and a product that I want to sell? Well, here are 3 simple factors that Dan and I are looking for in a product. 3 simple things that help make up a good product. One of them is it's not sold by Amazon. It's not sold by Amazon. Amazon is not a seller. Is not one of the sellers, because Amazon, it's rules for thee, but not for me. Amazon does not play by their own rules. Selling on a listing with Amazon is not fun. They buy they don't care about losing money on products. They can beat you on price. You just better to avoid it.
Right, they're aggressive on price. They make it very, very difficult to change the listing. And the point is it's just not very fun. Like, the first time I sat down to play a new game, I don't turn it to the hardest mode possible.
Yeah.
Like, I want to learn, I want to enjoy the game and things like that. So, there's no reason there's so much opportunity outside of Amazon. There's no reason to carry products.
Can I encapsulate that in one sentence, please? Don't try to tangle with an 8,000-pound gorilla.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, they just play by a different set of rules, and so you just avoid products for them. Easy one. Aren't interested in selling products sold by Amazon. Number 2, the product has to have a minimum of 3 people selling it, and that's pretty simple. That has to have a minimum of 3 people selling it, and that helps to eliminate a lot of products that are a waste of time for us to try to carry. If a product has just 1 or 2 sellers, it's very likely a product that isn't open to allowing any new sellers, because it's either private label, which means they just don't sell to other people, or it's already exclusive. Someone already has an exclusive contract to sell it. So products with 1 or 2 sellers, most of the time, 99% of the time, are a waste of time for you to try to sell, because it's already exclusive, or it's already sold by the brand themselves, and they aren't open to having new Amazon retailers. So just by focusing on products that have 3 or more sellers, you're mostly dealing with the things that are actually possible for you to land. So that's just a good way of making sure you're not looking at wasting too much of your time. Minimum of 3 sellers. Now, a lot of people will ask me, well, do you have a maximum? No, you'll understand here in a second. I don't have a maximum number of sellers. It doesn't matter. We've sold products with 70, 100, 150 sellers. It doesn't matter.
Not all sellers are created equal.
Yeah, which you'll see here in a second. So there's no maximum. And then the third one here is a product that sells a lot. It's something that we could sell very many times. Now, what does that mean? Well, how do you know if you could sell a product a bunch of times, right? Well,
What is a bunch of times?
yeah, so that's relative for each individual person. The minimum that Dan and I typically operated with is that, we want a product to be worth our time. We want to sell something about, it depends on the price of the product, but like just in a real general sense, something you can sell about once a day. 30 units a month typically is a minimum for us that we've always kind of looked at. But how do you know how many times you can sell it is the big question, right? So we can show that. I think we probably have some time to be able to show that. So let me talk a little bit about how can you, Dan and I have the ability, and we're going to teach you that to you here as quick as we can, to look at any product on Amazon and pretty accurately estimate if we were selling it, how many times could we sell it? No matter how many sellers there are, we could get a pretty accurate gauge of how many we can sell. So to be able to do that, you have to understand something about the buy box. This is the buy box. If you go on any Amazon listing, okay, on any Amazon listing, on the right side, there's the buy box. And if you were to check out and you were to buy, this is how it's determined who gets the sale. Which seller, Amazon seller, gets credit for this sale right here. In this case, on this one, it was Beans and Leaves, which is a great seller name. If I were to buy this product when I took this screenshot, Beans and Leaves gets the sale. So who gets the buy box? Who gets credit for the sale on Amazon is determined by really a pretty simple algorithm, honestly. It has a lot of different factors, but there are two that are very heavily weighted. Amazon cares mostly about who has the lowest price and is selling Prime. So if you're doing those two things, if you have the lowest price and you are selling Prime, you're going to get most of the sales. You're going to get, if you have the lowest, if you're lower than everybody else on price and you're selling Prime, you're going to get all the sales actually. But that's not always the case. So let's say if you're tied for the lowest price, if you're tied for the lowest price and you're also Prime, typically the people tied for lowest price and our Prime are typically relatively equally sharing the buy box and sharing those sales. So hopefully that makes sense for everyone. And you can use simple tools that are all over the place. There are so many different tools that you can use to estimate sales. So let me just show an example real quick. Let me show it because let me screen share here. And like this product, I'm gonna, like for instance, Jungle Scout or Helium 10, those different software tell you how many primes a product sells each month. And this product sells 1,300 times a month. And another really cool tool that you can use that's free is junglescout.com/estimator. junglescout.com/estimator. You can use it for free. You can have a certain amount of free uses every day that you can use to see how much a product sells, so that you can see that. And once you know how many times a product sells, you see how many people are tied for that buy box price. If you were one of them, you can kind of just divide that number and get a good sense of how many that you could be selling. That's how I can explain it as quickly as I can and as short depth as I can, but that's what we do. But we have a lot of other methods that we're going to teach. So how do you find tons of products? We can literally find hundreds of great wholesale opportunities in a day. So many products that we could sell, literally hundreds or thousands of units of each if we were able to land those accounts.
Dylan, I want to go kind of, I saw a couple of the questions in chat, and it's like, different variations of the same stuff. And, one of the big concern is, finding the right suppliers with profitable products. Like, how do you find the right suppliers? And Dylan talked about it. Like, we don't look for suppliers. We look for product opportunities. And we talked about this earlier, and that was why he had Tabasco up on his screen. But, I want to give you guys a good example of why people would work with you. Like, and I think the hot sauce example is a great one. In chat, what are some of what do you think the best selling hot sauce on the planet is?
Yeah.
Just anybody in chat, what is the best selling hot sauce on the planet?
Yeah,
in your opinion?
And I got on screen here, so not to like subconsciously influence you, but I think we would pretty much mostly agree, right? Like,
Or maybe there's another couple of brands. Sriracha's one of them. Exactly there.
yeah,
That's a great
Sriracha
one.
is very popular. Tabasco is very popular. Texas Pete is very popular. Frank's Red Hot is very popular. I saw that, right? Like these are the.
Your mama? That can't be a brand. Come on,
It is.
Ruben.
Oh, I know that brand.
Oh yeah.
These are all very popular. Some of the most popular in grocery stores, right? The most popular hot sauces in the world, right? We're naming a bunch of them. I'm seeing them in chat, right? So like, let's actually check something out real quick. Okay, when
Right.
you go to
While you're typing it in, he's going to type in hot sauce. I think about it when I go to one of the like little breakfast places. Like, what am I going to see most often? And for me, it's always the Tabasco, Texas Pete, or Cholula, the one with the little screw top, like the wooden top.
Yeah. So when you sorry. So when you go to Amazon, you search hot sauce. Let's just look what the top results are. What are the best sellers, right? The first four are sponsored ads. They say sponsored, so we won't count those. This is where the best sellers start. So the best selling hot sauce is called Truff.
I didn't see that on anybody's list. I didn't see Truff.
Yeah, never saw that. Nobody.
Oh my God.
Nobody posted Truff. All right. That's the best seller. Amazon's choice is.
What about Steve-O's hot sauce for your butthole?
No.
Didn't see that one. Didn't see that one either.
No one said that. What about Secret Aardvark Habanero? I didn't see anyone say Secret Aardvark Habanero. I didn't see anyone say Old Bay hot sauce. Okay, these are the best sellers on Amazon. And I keep scrolling down. There's Cholula. There's Frank's. Then there's Truff again. Extreme Regret. That's a good name. But stop me when you see Sriracha or Tabasco or Frank's or Texas Pete.
Wow.
Stop me. Where are they?
Great.
Where are you at? Oh, there's Louisiana.
Are we still on the first page?
Yep. There's a 2-pack of Frank's Red Hot.
That my bundler's bestseller hot sauce bundle.
There's Sriracha finally, like the 30th result.
But there's Truff again.
There's Truff again, right? So what does that mean? What do we? And I can spoiler alert. I know the answer. We'll have to search we have to scroll down a long time before we find Tabasco or Texas Pete.
How many people want to know what that plugin is? That's showing all the data.
Yeah, that's Amazon DS Quick View. Yeah, it's free. That's a free plugin. Amazon DS Quick View. It's a free plugin for Chrome extensions. Yeah, I've got all kinds of those kind of plugins because I search Amazon so much. So so everyone is like, so where is Tabasco, right? So I'll show you. You actually, I opened up a tab of Truff, remember that Truff brand. So let's go back to Tabasco. Tabasco's listing. Okay. So why does Tabasco not show up in search for hot sauce? Why is what many of us would assume is like the best selling hot sauce in the world? You go to any Waffle House in America, it's sitting on the table. You know what I mean?
And there's enough Waffle Houses. Heck, there's enough Waffle Houses to keep Tabasco in the number one slot.
Right. And then the number one bestseller, remember, is Truff. Number one bestseller in sauces, just of any kind of sauce. Now, does anyone watching, please tell me in chat, can anyone in chat tell me, do you see a difference in this listing for Truff?
Name it out. What is the difference between the two listings, guys? Name it out. And this is just a little taste of what you're going to get next week.
Do you think there's a difference?
There are less details, less photos, lifestyle images, less photos, keywords. How about bullets, guys?
Yeah, it's everything. The Truff listing does everything better
hot sauce
on Amazon.
Isn't even in the title. I didn't even notice that. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's one of the biggest things. The crazy part of this is right now when just like Dylan found Tabasco. Do you know how people find Tabasco on Amazon? They search for Tabasco.
The
only people finding this product are the people who know it exists or it's top of mind. But most people don't think about that. Wow. If you're wanting hot sauce, you're not going to search for Tabasco. You're going to search for hot sauce. Yeah. It's not even in the title. Literally not in the title. So if you change this product,
it's not the bullets either.
Yeah.
I mean, right. So this product's not indexing for probably one of the most searched for terms. And if if you added hot sauce to this listing, just the title and the bullets, and started, actually doing a little bit of work, product would definitely be on page 1. Definitely has enough name recognition, way more than Truff.
So what is it worth? What is it worth to have a listing that just looks better, that has more photos, that has your title filled out with everything that it needs, and a beautiful product description, right? What is that worth in sales? I can show you.
Give me numbers.
I can run Jungle Scout. I can give you the numbers. Truff hot sauce sells about 12,000 times a month, $200,000 in revenue. Okay. Tabasco, the world's best-selling hot sauce. We all know it. We've all tried it. We've seen it everywhere in every grocery store in America and every restaurant in America. On Amazon, Tabasco sauce sells 1,300 times. And on revenue, but Truff sells theirs for almost a greater than 2x the price. So the revenue-wise, Truff is 20x more in sales, 20 times. So Ayana, she just said it. She just she just said it in chat. I don't know if everyone else can see it in chat. I can see it. This is to all panelists. You're absolutely right. She said you can win over the brand owner by explaining to them how you can improve the listing and grow sales. Brilliant. That's
now,
it.
Melanie also had that concern, how to do value added.
That's it. But yeah, Ayana.
And think about it this way, guys. And think about it this way, because one of the most common, questions or objections that we see is that why would they work with me? Why would they work with Ayana, who may, this may be her first account? And the point is they've worked with all these other people and they have all these problems. The fact of the matter is Amazon sellers, or lack of attention from the Amazon sellers that they work with, got them in this boat. Yep. So whenever you start trying to, the incentive to work with you is you'll actually take the time to make them better.
Yeah,
Michelle and Marta, pay attention to what they're talking about, because your concern was, how do you get brand owners to give you permission to sell your stuff? And that's what they're addressing right now.
Yeah, and what I would do is when I emailed them, or I talked to a rep over at Tabasco in their sales department, I'd show them this. I'd say, see, that this is what the difference between a good Amazon seller is. The difference between a good Amazon seller and a bad Amazon seller, apparently, is about $190,000 a month. That's the difference for you. And like that, once you can show them visually, you can talk about it, and you could because you know what I mean? It's easy to do. It's easy to add hot sauce to a title and fill it the rest of the way out. Like these pictures, you know how many great marketing images Tabasco's has? You can just go to their website and click save as off their website and post them here for all kinds of great shots that probably look better than Truff's images, because Tabasco's been around so long. They have great marketing all over the place. Just no one took the time to fix this Amazon listing. If you can copy paste a photo, you can fix the photos. If you can go to their website, you can even pull the bullets direct off their website to put here. You know what I mean?
And the folks, I guess, saw that one a lot. The question of, their concern being finding enough profitable products. And if you see this on a national brand like Tabasco, how many times do you think you can find an ugly listing on Amazon? And every time you find an ugly listing, that's your opportunity to start talking and opening up that conversation with brand owners.
That was another one that we talked about. Texas Pete, does it look good? Compare it to it as one photo. It's bad.
At least they had hot sauce.
Hey, they got it. They're smart enough for that.
Look at those bullets. They're great.
Yeah. Just only 3 out of the 5 bullets, but they're no information about this product or why you should buy it or anything like that. Let's see if Sriracha is any good. I haven't looked at Sriracha's. No, also bad.
Oh, well, I actually no. Right, they actually got the product named OCD Bargain. That's just the seller taking advantage of Sriracha's listing.
Oh yeah.
Sriracha could legitimately file an IP complaint against them.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so yes.
OCD part. Oh, wow.
That's the seller's responsibility. One of the sellers should have filed the IP complaint against that person that's doing that. It's probably counterfeit, honestly. So here's a different Sriracha listing. This is more the official one. It's just as bad.
All right, 4.9 out of 10.
Anybody notice this misspelling in the title? Sriracha. Is that an extra R in there, or is that how it's spelled?
I think that's actually how it's spelled.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but this.
Oh, it is. Okay, sorry, it is how it's spelled.
Like, this is national brands. There was a listing where, speaking of misspellings, I noticed one on a national brand the other day. The Pez Star Wars thing.
Yeah,
like you go to that.
It's been fixed. It's been.
Oh,
fixed
it finally did get fixed. Oh
yeah.
Man.
That brings up another point, is that I would type in sriracha without the R. How many other people are doing that? So I would put that misspelling and the keywords in the back end of that listing.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Leanne says sriracha is the city it comes from in Thailand. Sriracha, hence the name. Now the Thai brand is coming for the Vietnamese. Wow, thank you for that, Leanne.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But what's kind of would be cool about that information, and a little background on the product and where it comes from, and would be in the Amazon listing. That'd be a great place to put it. Tell the story, make people want to buy it. But you know what? That's not in there. So that's the great example of like.
Awesome. Well, let's move on. This because I want to be respectful of everybody's time. We've got about 15 minutes left, and I want to make sure we're dropping it as much content and moving along. So again, I want to invite you guys to join the free wholesale workshop. Go to freewholesaleworkshop.com. Join it. It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. You got plenty of time to get your schedule all blocked out for that 3-hour time from 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern. What else you got to share with us today?
Hey, I mean, really, I think it's just about, coming to that workshop and taking action. And there's also an opportunity for those of you that have watched this today, right? And you're interested and you're excited. When you sign up for the workshop, there's also an opportunity for you to sign up as a VIP if you'd like. It's $27 for you to sign up.
It's not necessary. You can say, I don't want to cut him off. It's not necessary. Like you still get to do the experience if you want to for free, but we did want to include the VIP option for people who wanted kind of a little extra kick to get them in gear.
Yeah, when you sign up for the VIP option, after you register, we'll send you an email about it. It's $27, and what you get access to is a mini course that you can watch right now that teaches in depth a lot of the things that we showed today, and like how to start sourcing products so that you can get started early. You can get started right now, and you can come to the workshop more prepared. So if you sign up for VIP, that's the big thing there. You can also get to be in the same Zoom room with us and work with us in our own Zoom room during the events, and being able to ask us questions and get extra Q&A time and stuff like that with us. So there's that $27 VIP option. Make sure and check that out too. If you want, because you can get started right now. You just get started learning now, and then come to the workshop even farther ahead, ready to really crush it. Already have some products in mind. So check that out too.
I mean, really, my purpose for coming on today and really talking about the workshop and why people should join is I wanted to touch on a lot of those misconceptions, because I think misconceptions cost you a lot of money in business. And I can say without a doubt that misconceptions have cost me and Dylan millions of dollars. Like, the first misconception that we had that kept us from really getting started is I heard that I had heard, and I believed it. It made sense to me, like that minimum orders for brands, if you went brand direct, were thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And I had the belief. I also had the belief that, why would they work with somebody small like me? And you see that, kind of echoed throughout the chat. Like, I'd seen a couple of people ask that question, what are minimum orders like? And, variations that they have those same fears that I had. And, whenever you start looking at it from the perspective that you saw right here, just the brief little glimpse into it, you realize that you don't have to be a big seller to provide a lot of value. Like, you just have to be the one who's willing to do it. So I wanted to get it in people's mind that number one, that this is something you can do. If it's something that you want to do, it is something that you can do. And that, to really frame in that webinar or in that workshop, it's not going to be a traditional webinar. Like, we're going to be interacting with folks, and we're going to, give the dirty word out, the homework, and all those fun things to make sure that people understand the concepts and can really do it. So if this is something that's interesting, like if you've had if you're like, whoa, I could help Sriracha, I could help, Texas Pete or whoever. I promise you can do any search. You can find these product opportunities. Diapers. You can search for diapers. I guarantee you can find bad listings. You search for hair kits, which I obviously need. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to find ugly listings. The point is these opportunities are all over Amazon, and to take advantage of them, you just have to be willing to put a little bit of work in and identify this kind of stuff. So in that workshop, we're going to go through literally how to find massive amounts of products. Like, somebody said, how do I find enough suppliers? Come to the workshop. We're going to be going over how to pull these things out. How do I get them to, how do I analyze product? I saw that question too. How do you not get, buy bad product or get burned? It was some variation of that. And we're going to go over that. We're going to go over all the steps of analysis we take, because at the end of the day, our business, we weren't rich guys. Like, we didn't have infinite money to make mistakes. We had to be a cash flow business. We couldn't afford to buy crappy products. So a lot of our model is finding the best of the best that you're not going to lose money with, that you do have the opportunity to move through quickly and be able to restock, because a cash flow business is a healthy business. So you're going to learn about those analysis points. And then lastly, we're going to close that sucker out by teaching you how to actually approach these brands and not look like a bonehead. Like, there's one thing about coming to Sriracha and being like, well, your listing's all busted up. Imagine if I did that. Like, that's not going to move anybody. They're just, well, whoop-de-doo all day. Like, what we try to teach you in that work, what we're going to try to teach is how to help them understand what their listing being messed up causes, how to understand that, how it helps them. So if you have any interest in being a business, being a wholesale person, or if you're wanting to get better at your Amazon business, or if you're a retail arbitrage guy and you wonder how these guys are, or how this guy is selling way below you, kicking your ass, like, be there, you'll find out, I promise.
And another fear people have, there's a lot, everybody's got their own reasons for not starting something. They need a big warehouse, right? A lot of people have this imagination that they've got to take all these pallets in, right? So how would you address that?
Oh, we don't have one. Like, you're looking at my warehouse. Like, my warehouse is right here. For us, we actually are guys that started with a warehouse. Like, we had retail art, when we were doing retail arbitrage, we were doing, over $1 million, at one point, over $1 million a year. And just processing a product, we needed space. And we honestly didn't even know about that prep centers existed. I had no idea what a prep center was. So by the time we found out about prep centers, we were pretty invested. And then, we started really looking at our model, and it was like, running a warehouse just isn't for us. Like, number one, we're not very good at it. It's not very fun for us. And then it was hard for us to scale because it wasn't a skill set. So, 2 years ago, or I guess, gosh, it's 2021. That's crazy. Like, 3 years ago, we made that move from we closed our warehouse, moved everything to prep centers or going direct to Amazon, and then haven't looked back. And when we made that shift, we got a lot more profitable. As crazy as that is, we started paying more to have our products processed, and still got more profitable. And we'll be talking about how you do that in that workshop too.
And let's say you have, you want to prep your own product. Let's say for some reason you want to do that. Here's one trick I use. Storage units I started with, but then when I didn't have storage units, I had 3 pallets coming. It was way back in the beginning when I started this in like 2016. 3 pallets were coming in, and it was going to rain, and it was coming to my driveway. And I went and I rented a budget truck, and I've got a picture of the semi rolling up to my house with the budget truck and his lift gate, rolling the pallets down, and used his pallet jack to roll them onto the truck. I staggered them so there'd be room between them. And I parked that thing in the driveway, and I broke down and prepped that product over the rainy weekend inside the truck. And then I drove the truck to UPS to drop off the boxes. Got to get creative, right? So I'm going to give you guys an assignment. First, I'm going to give you a thought to think about. I want you to think about this question when you hear yourself saying, I can't do that because I'm fill in the blank, too old, too young, too scared, too broke, too rich, too living in a rural area, whatever that fill in the blank is. I want you to ask yourself this question. What's the worst that could happen if you try? If you say, I'm too shy to get on the phone. Well, what's the worst that could happen if you try? You stumble over your tongue, you laugh at yourself, you get off the phone, and then you've learned something and you realize that it's not going to, be a deal breaker for you. You're not going to die by getting on the phone, right? So ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen when you start feeling fearful about building a wholesale business? And then I'm going to give you an assignment to do, not homework, after you get off of this. First, go register for freewholesaleworkshop.com. But between now and next Wednesday, when they kick off, I want you to look for ugly listings. Get on Amazon.
It's not hard.
Go down rabbit holes, look for ugly listings, and copy and paste the URLs for those ugly listings into a spreadsheet, just so you can start getting comfortable looking for those things. Is that a good assignment, guys?
That's a great assignment.
How many of you are going to put yes in the chat if you're going to go do the assignment, look for ugly listings?
Find them. It's not hard. We'll take you all of 3 minutes.
Yes, awesome. Look at that. Yes. There's so many ugly listings. Great assignment. Good.
Everybody in chat knew what to do. It was brilliant. Everyone in here was so smart. I was shocked. Like we've done, I've talked to all kinds of different people, and I rarely do I see a chat that like gets it. Like this chat got it. They were like, yeah, someone in the chat, and I noticed that hot sauce wasn't in the title. Someone.
I got to give a shout out to my followers because you guys are rock stars. You take action. I love that about you. I say, go do this. And you're like, we're on it, Barbara. We got you. I'll start getting emails and messages from you saying, look what we found. So I'm so proud of you guys and thankful that you're here today. And also let's give a shout out to Dylan and to the Danimal, Dan Meadors. And we need to think of a nickname for Dylan, Mr. Frosty.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Frosty. That's it. We got one. Any last parting words besides, again, an invitation to join freewholesaleworkshop.com? You guys have any words of wisdoms you'd like to share?
No, not for me. I'll see you there. That's mine.
Mine would be whatever you're going to do it hard.
There you go. All in and have fun. That's another big one.
Yeah.
Right? Have fun. So thank you, gentlemen, for being on here. We're at the top of the hour. I want to make sure that I'm being respectful of your time. Go to freewholesaleworkshop.com. Hit me up. My name is Barbara Draska. Hit me up on Facebook if you have any questions. I've got a ton of free articles on Deal Diva Wholesale, on things like, I'll tell the story about that truck. You can see the picture of it on dealdivawholesale.com. And if you've got any questions, again, just hit me up. Let me stop the share so I can say goodbye to everybody. Signed up. We've got a lot of people signing up. Look at that. Thank you, Dan and Dylan. Thank you. Great job, Brent. Hey, thanks guys for being on here. And I will email out the replay shortly. Thanks for being here.
See you guys.
Bye.